1. Introduction. My name is Bella. I am 26 years old. I live alone in a small apartment building in the city. My life is very calm, maybe too calm sometimes. I work 5 days a week, and I usually spend my evenings reading or watching old movies. I do not see many people or go out often. My days were quiet and predictable. One hot afternoon, I needed to go outside my apartment. I had a bag of trash in my hand. I walked into the hallway. Suddenly, I saw a man standing there. He was moving things. There were many large boxes around him, near the door of the empty apartment next to mine. He was tall, and he looked strong. I realized he was my new neighbor. I stopped walking for a moment. He looked up from a heavy box. He saw me standing there. He smiled. His smile was big and very kind. I felt a quick, strange feeling inside my chest. My heart started to beat faster than normal. I felt warm in my face. "Hi," he said easily. "I am Nick. I am your new neighbor." I tried to sound calm, but I felt nervous. I smiled back at him. "Welcome," I replied. I felt shy standing there, so I quickly put the trash in the container. I hurried back inside my apartment and closed the door softly. From that moment, my quiet life was different. I could not stop thinking about Nick. I thought about his strong arms and the way he looked at me. Every time I heard a noise from the apartment next door, I felt excited. I hoped he was leaving his apartment. I hoped I would see him again. I started to change my routine. Before, I did not care how I looked when I was at home. Now, I started to take more care of myself. I washed my hair every day. I wore my best clothes, even if I was only going to the kitchen. I put on light makeup. I did this hoping he would notice me. I wanted him to see that I was not just a quiet girl who lived alone. I started going outside more often. Sometimes I walked to the mailbox slowly. Sometimes I walked down to the laundry room, even if I did not need to wash clothes. I needed a reason to stand in the hallway. I wanted him to stop and talk to me again. I wanted to hear his voice. I wanted to see that warm smile. I wanted Nick to know my name and maybe more. I knew I liked him instantly. This feeling was new and strong. I wished for a chance to speak to him for a long time, not just for 10 seconds in the hall. I hoped that soon he would truly see me. 2. Getting closer. I needed a new plan. I wanted Nick to see me as more than just a person in the hallway. I decided to use food. I knew I was not a great cook, but I put all my effort into the meals. I used fresh vegetables and spices. I wanted the food to show him that I cared. I made simple meals. I made soup, and sometimes I made cookies. I also made rice dishes. I would walk to his door. My heart always beat fast. I would knock softly. When he opened the door, I felt nervous. I gave him the food. He always looked surprised and happy. He had a soft laugh. "Thank you, Bella," he said one time. "You are very kind." His words were sweet. His kindness made me feel warm inside. I hoped he liked the soup. I hoped he saw me, not just the food. Nick was a very helpful person. He often saw me struggling with things. I had heavy boxes that needed moving into my closet. They were too big for me to lift. He helped me carry them without asking. He was so strong. Another day, a light switch in my living room was loose. It was a small problem, but I did not know how to fix it safely. I told Nick about it. He came right away. He fixed the switch very fast. When he fixed the light switch, he stood very close to me. I could smell his clean shirt. I tried not to move or talk too much. I just stood there, smiling shyly. Every time he was near me, I felt a mix of feelings. I was happy because he was here. I was also very nervous. His smile made me forget everything else. I watched his hands working on the switch. They were strong and careful. I started thinking only about Nick. I thought about him when I woke up. I thought about him when I went to sleep. I remembered the way his eyes looked at me. He treated me like a good neighbor, but I did not want to be just a neighbor. I wanted to be special to him. I wanted him to see me as a woman, not just the girl next door who brought cookies. I wanted him to ask me out. I wanted us to be together. I hoped he felt the same way, even a little bit. I needed to find a way to get closer to him. 3. A crazy idea. I thought about Nick often. He was kind and he was good at fixing things. I wanted him to come to my apartment again. I wanted to be close to him, just like when he fixed the light switch. I needed a good excuse for him to visit. One evening, I looked at my bathroom. I had a very crazy idea. I decided that I would break the shower on purpose. I know this was a bad thing to do, but I felt desperate. I wanted his attention and his presence more than anything. I went into the shower stall. I moved the handles and pipes until they stopped working correctly. Suddenly, water started spraying everywhere. It hit the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. It was a lot of water. I acted quickly, trying to look panicked. I ran out of the bathroom and quickly went to Nick's door. I knocked very loudly many times. I tried to make my voice sound shaky and scared. "Nick, please help me," I shouted through the door. "My shower is broken. There is water all over the place. It is flooding." Nick opened his door right away. He looked worried and serious when he saw my face. He did not ask any questions. He ran to my apartment immediately, following the sound of the running water. He went straight to the bathroom. He saw the mess and immediately knew what to do. He turned the main water valve off very fast. The spraying stopped. He used his strong hands to check the broken parts and quickly fix the problem. When he finished, he stepped back. Nick was completely wet. His shirt was soaking and stuck to his chest. His hair was dripping water onto the floor. I quickly gave him a large, clean towel. He took the towel and wiped his face. I watched him closely. I looked at his wet hair and his strong arms. I felt a powerful, strong feeling in my chest. This feeling was more intense than I had ever felt before. I looked at his lips and I wanted to kiss him. I knew my crazy idea had worked. He was here and he was wet because of me. For the night, Nick finished fixing the water. He was still drying his wet hair with the towel. I watched him. His arms looked strong. My heart began to beat very fast. I felt brave. I decided I must do something. I stepped closer to him. He looked at me, surprised. I did not speak. I touched his face softly. Then I kissed him. It was a quick kiss. He stood still. He looked shocked. I felt worried. Did I make a mistake? I wanted to run away. Before I could move, Nick dropped the towel. He put his arms around me. He pulled me close. He kissed me back immediately. This kiss was long and warm. It was much stronger than my kiss. I felt happy and excited. The world outside the apartment was gone. There was only Nick and me. We moved slowly into the bedroom. We spent the whole night together. It was a special night. I had wanted this for a long time. Everything felt new and wonderful. When I closed my eyes, I could still feel his arms holding me. The sun came up slowly. Light filled the room. I woke up first. Nick was sleeping beside me. I looked at his face. He was still very handsome. I smiled softly. A few minutes later, Nick woke up. He saw me and smiled immediately. His smile was soft and kind. We did not talk much at first. We just looked at each other. I felt many things at the same time. I felt very happy because he was here. I felt excited about what this meant, but I also felt scared. What would happen next? Was this just one night, or was this the start of our story? I was full of hope for the future. I knew everything had changed between us. I hoped this feeling would last forever. 5. Our routine. After that night, everything changed between us. Nick started to visit my apartment all the time. He came over almost every evening. He did not just knock, he stayed for hours. Our new routine began quickly. Nick liked to cook. He told me I worked too much and needed to eat good food. So he often cooked dinner for both of us. He made different things. Sometimes it was pasta with thick sauce. Sometimes he made chicken and warm vegetables. He even made soup, which was perfect on cold nights. I sat on a chair in the kitchen and watched him work. His hands were strong and fast when he cut the vegetables. I helped him with small things, like setting the table or washing the tomatoes. We talked about our days. He told me funny stories about his job, and I told him about mine. This new routine felt comfortable and easy. It was not stressful like before, when I tried so hard to get his attention. Now, we were just us. The connection between us grew stronger every day. Our time together felt like a sweet dream. When I woke up, I was happy because I knew I would see him later. I started to forget how lonely I had been before he moved into the building. I started to think about the future with Nick. I saw him not just as a neighbor who helped me, but as my boyfriend. I believed our relationship was becoming serious. He spent all his free time with me. This meant something important and real. I hoped he felt the same deep way I did. I knew I loved him. I was afraid to say the words out loud, but I felt the love growing in my heart every time he smiled at me. I wanted this new life, this routine, to last forever. I wanted Nick to be mine forever. I felt full of hope. 6, the other woman, we were happy together. Nick came to my apartment often. He cooked for me, and we spent many hours talking. I started to believe that our relationship was becoming serious. I thought that maybe, finally, I had found the right man. But then I saw her. There is a girl in our building named Lana. She is very pretty. She always wears nice clothes and short dresses. I had noticed before that Lana looked at Nick too much. She always tried to find a reason to talk to him. One afternoon, I went downstairs. I needed to throw away some trash. I saw Nick standing near the mailboxes. Lana was standing there with him. Lana was standing very close to Nick. She was laughing loudly at something he said. Then I saw her touch his arm. It was a small touch, but it looked too familiar to me. Nick smiled at her. His smile was polite, but seeing it made my stomach drop. When I saw them together like that, talking and laughing, I felt a terrible pain inside my chest. It felt like fire was burning me. I stopped walking. I watched them for only a few seconds. In those moments, a bad thought came into my mind. I thought, he is already with her. He likes her more than me. I felt very small and foolish. I thought about the night we spent together. I thought, that night meant nothing to him. I was just a fun activity, not a serious girlfriend. The sweet dream I was living in suddenly ended. I felt deeply hurt and angry. I did not want Nick to see me standing there. I turned around fast and ran back up the stairs to my apartment. I closed my door quietly and locked it. I decided I needed to stop seeing him immediately. I needed to protect my heart before I felt more pain. Soon after, I heard a knock on my door. It was Nick. "Bella, are you home?" he called out. I stood perfectly still in the middle of my living room. I held my breath and did not make a sound. I stayed completely silent. He knocked again. "Bella, please open the door. I know you are there." I could not bring myself to speak. I did not want to talk to him. I did not want to hear his kind voice because I knew it was a lie. It would only make the pain worse. He called my name several times. I stood silent until I heard his footsteps finally move away from my door. The next day, he knocked again. He even called my phone many times. I ignored every single call. I pretended I was not home. I pretended he did not even exist in the building. I felt very sad and lonely, but I knew I had to avoid him completely. I thought that if I did not see him, the sharp, painful feeling in my chest would finally disappear. I had to let him go back to the other woman, Lana. 7. The truth. Nick waited outside my door for a long time. I heard him calling my name many times. He asked me to open the door. He asked why I was avoiding him. I stayed quiet inside my apartment. I felt very hurt and very angry. I did not want to see him at all. I thought only about Lana. I thought about the way she laughed with Nick. I thought I was only a fun night for him. This thought made my chest hurt very much inside my body. He knocked again on the door. The sound was soft but strong this time. I knew I could not hide forever from him. I had to know the truth about him and Lana. I had to stop feeling small and afraid right now. I walked slowly to the door. I put my hand on the cold metal handle. I took one deep breath. Then I quickly opened the door for him. Nick stood there waiting. He looked tired. His eyes looked very sad. "Bella," he said. His voice was quiet and low. My eyes felt hot. I did not want to cry in front of him. I wanted to be strong. "I saw you with her," I said quickly to him. My voice shook a little bit. "Lana, you like her. You smile at her a lot when you talk." Nick looked confused at first. Then he looked serious and a little sad. "Wait, Bella," he said. "That is the reason you are avoiding me? Because of Lana?" I nodded my head yes. "I was only being polite to Lana." He explained everything. "She is just a neighbor here. I talk to all the neighbors sometimes. But I do not like her. I do not want to be with her at all." I stared at him for a long time. I tried to read his face very carefully. Was he telling me the complete truth? My heart started beating faster and faster in my chest. "I like you, Bella," he said clearly. He spoke loudly now. "I come here every day to see you. I cook food for you. I fix things for you when they break. I spend all my free time with you and nobody else. Why do you think I do all of that?" He took one step closer to me. "I want you," he whispered the words. "I want us. I want a real relationship with you for a long time." Hearing those words felt like warm sunlight touching my skin. The terrible fear left my chest completely. The anger went away quickly. I felt soft again. I felt happy. 2 tears came to my eyes again, but this time they were happy tears only. I looked up at him. I saw the honesty in his face. It was easy to see. He reached out his hand and touched my cheek very gently. Then he leaned down. He kissed me. The kiss was slow. It was gentle. It told me everything I needed to know finally. I kissed him back immediately. This kiss felt like a promise for the future. It felt like the truth. 8, our story. Nick looked at me. He held my hands tightly. He told me that he wanted a real relationship with me. This made my heart feel very warm. He confirmed that he enjoyed spending time with me. He liked cooking meals for me, even though I was always trying to cook for him. He also liked helping me with small problems in my apartment. He said he liked everything about us. Nick started to smile. He had a funny look in his eyes. "Bella," he said, "I need to ask you something important." I waited, feeling nervous. "Did you break that shower just so I would come over?" I felt my face turn red. I did not know what to say at first. I looked down at the floor. Then I looked up and laughed loudly. "Maybe," I said. Nick laughed too, a big, loud sound that filled my small living room. It was true, but it felt good to laugh about the crazy thing I did. He stopped laughing and became serious again. "You do not need to break things to see me," he promised. "Just ask. I will always come." We sat down on the sofa together. The sun was going down outside the window, painting the sky with orange and pink light. We talked for a long time. We talked about our future. We talked about small dreams. Nick said he wanted a dog one day. I said I wanted to learn how to cook better meals so I could surprise him. We talked about taking a trip together next summer. Maybe to the beach or maybe to the mountains. Nick told me about his job. I told him about my family and my life before I moved here. We shared things that neighbors do not usually share. I felt very safe next to him. I realized I had not felt this safe in a very long time. He put his arm around me. His touch was very comforting and strong. I knew that he was honest now. The jealousy I felt before was completely gone. Our story was strange. It started with me trying too hard. It started with me cooking bad food and then breaking my shower on purpose to get his attention. It included a lot of confusion and a little bit of doubt. But Nick and I were here now. We were together. We were choosing each other. I understood that this crazy, imperfect story was ours. It was real. I smiled at Nick. This felt like the true beginning of everything.